Strength has many faces and courage is one of them. Today on Daily Reset, we are joined by Kuwaiti kickboxing coach Amal Albahar, who have chosen a path that defies social norms and teaches the body to be strong and confident. Kickboxing, not only exclusive for men, but it also teaches women how to be confident and is an expression for them. I'm your host Abdulaziz Ismail, and we're gonna dig deeper into the subject right after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. We are joined once again with kickboxing coach Amal Albahar. Welcome back to the show, Amal.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show with us. Now we're gonna dissect the story that you stand behind a little bit. Kickboxing, a bit unusual for women. Not a lot of people expect women to get enrolled into such, I don't want to call it a violent sport or anything like that, but it's a very straightforward sport, let's call it that, for lack of better terms. Now, what drew you into it?
To be honest, I wanted to learn how to punch.
Okay.
I didn't grow up with brothers, and I also wanted to challenge myself to see what I'm capable of. And it is a male-dominated sport, especially like martial arts. So as soon as I found the opportunity to learn kickboxing, I jumped to it. So that's what brought me there.
So started from wanting to learn how to punch into actually becoming a coach in kickboxing.
Yes, I knew I always loved teaching. Teaching is something I love. Helping others, I love teaching, I love empowering others, but I found my love for fitness through kickboxing.
Okay.
So I was straight out of university. I found a place. So at the time when I started, I think back in 2016, I believe, it just started becoming a trend, but it wasn't as available for women to learn kickboxing, even as fitness in a fitness form. For women, it wasn't available. There's not many coaches that teach it at the time. And I found a coach. I found a place. I started learning, and it was through that I added fitness or exercise to help me get better at the sport.
Okay.
Because you need to strengthen yourself and your muscles to be able to kick with the proper form, to kick with proper power,
punch with the proper
speed
form,
and endurance. You need all of that. So that's how I started my fitness journey. And I fell in love with it. I love seeing what my body can do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Pushing it to the limit, evolving, learning new skills, and teaching it to others as well.
Exactly.
Now, once again, it's a male-dominant martial art. It can be strange to some people that a lady is actually enrolling in those classes and learning kickboxing.
Yeah.
The environment around you, the people around you, friends, family, how do they react when you started this journey?
When I first started, it's because there's an old school of thought of boxing is just for men, or don't do too much of it. I don't want your body, your body doesn't look like a man, so don't have a manly body, which is not how the body works.
Stance and stuff like that.
Exactly. So it's just about it's too aggressive for a woman. But I think through education and through persevering and sticking to it, I helped educate my family that it's fine. But I do have a supportive family. Like, I'm lucky to have a supportive family. There was a bit of resistance in the beginning because of the misinformation around kickboxing and martial arts in general, that it makes you more aggressive, that it's not suited for a lady. Although I personally believe every woman should learn how to throw a punch.
Okay. It is definitely a self-defense skill that needs to be acquired by everybody, really.
Definitely.
And the main concern was that it'll turn you into a more of a a manly woman, so to speak,
Yeah.
a woman with manly habits.
Yeah, or become more aggressive. But martial arts actually does the opposite.
Okay.
It requires a lot of self-discipline, not mainly like not in the form of movement, although that's important. But a lot of people who go into this path, I think, are surprised by how much it's a mental game. They're surprised by the fact that you cannot bring outside emotions in it. You cannot be angry. Oh, maybe sometimes, okay, you can be get a little angry to throw a bit more power to that punch, or
channel that anger into having a better exercise or warm-up.
Exactly, but you cannot be in your emotions when you're doing the sport.
It cannot be the purpose that why you train in kickboxing.
Not only is it not the purpose, if you're constantly angry, you're not gonna have you need self-control,
composure.
So you need composure, you need self-control, you need to be able to manage your emotions. So it's kind of like meditation in a way.
It's very physical meditation.
Exactly, because it's a single sport, so it's not a team sport.
Okay.
It's just you against you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're throwing a bad punch or technique or whatever, you cannot stay there and judge yourself. You need to be your own motivator. You need to be your own coach. In that moment, you need to be able to calm down the frustration and just, work through it. So it just really requires you to be in the moment. So that's another thing that for those who have anger management issues and all of that, it actually is, or an overthinker like me, it actually is a space for me to practice being in my body, and that translates to everything else in my life.
And it definitely translates and manifests into other sides of your life.
Most certainly, yes.
Now, it also begs the question that it's the good reputation that we get regarding martial arts, and everybody knows about martial arts. I want to ask about your personal experience. Would you say that, being a kickboxer have increased your confidence and, increased your physical endurance? Has it evolved your body, and has it evolved your mind and confidence?
Yes, of course. Holistically, like it's like I said, it gave me that discipline to have to basically cut out outside information, outside noise. Okay, that's number one. And number two, definitely physical wise, it definitely helped me become more stronger, more confidence in my skills. It helped build my confidence so much to be able to throw a punch or throw a kick. It gave me confidence in my abilities, and again, that translates to my ability in other spaces in my life. So whether it's work, whether it's whatever it is, it helped boost my confidence so much.
Absolutely. And to kind of draw a little bit from our previous conversations, you're a living example of what we've talked about previously in former episodes. You started with throwing a punch, very small, easy task to learn, and then you've evolved to becoming a coach because you've understood what you wanted to be at the end and how to get there.
Yeah.
You've pushed yourself to that goal, it seems like.
Yes. So I kind of I never thought that being a coach was an option for me. But by pursuing those mini goals, these big opportunities opened up for me. So that's something
something you're proud of, I'm sure.
I'm extremely proud of it.
That's good. Now, we've talked a lot about how it has affected you. I'm very curious about how your female students have reacted to your coaching. However, we're going to take a small break, and then we'll talk about that once we return. Dear viewers, we're going to take a small break and then continue right afterwards. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. We continue our conversation with kickboxing coach Amal Albahar. Hello again, Amal.
Hello.
Now, before we went on a break, we wanted to talk about your female students. Have you seen any development in their mindset after you've coached them and they've enrolled in the kickboxing classes?
Yes. So a lot of people come in thinking. So it can be very frustrating when you're learning kickboxing.
Okay.
Even in a fitness form, because it requires you to pay attention to a lot of things. Kickboxing requires, or martial arts in general, requires you to use your whole body. It's not, when you throw a punch, you're not just using your arm. You're moving your muscles from the bottom to the top. So it requires your lower body, your core, your upper body, all of that to be moving in sync with each other. You cannot move anything separately. You need to focus on your stance. You need to focus on multiple things at once. So a lot of people coming into it for the first time, especially women coming into it for the first time, there is a certain frustration. Like, I understand what you're saying, but my body's not able to do it. So as a coach, I first remind them that it's okay to be patient and just to take it step by step with them and to break it down so that they're able to catch up with their mind, so to say. So your mind knows what it wants to do before your body does. So like, you can understand a movement, but it requires some time, depending on the person, some time for your body to be able to understand and adjust as well. So being able to help them bridge that gap, that's, as a coach, this is one of my joys as being a coach, to see the light bulb go off and see them transform and improve and surpass the frustration and being able to see that, to see them be more confident,
breaking their barriers and learning new things.
Exactly. So yes, that's one of my joys.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Would you say that that's how it has helped women overcome fear and self-doubt practicing kickboxing?
So kickboxing and fitness in general is something the newer generation probably is more
open to it,
more they're surrounded by a bit more. I think it's not that it's a new concept, but it's a I guess you can say new trend. It's a new it's fairly new territory.
Okay.
So there are more spaces opening up, especially for kickboxing. There are more female coaches that can teach the sport. There's more spaces for women to practice fitness. I think it's we live in a new age where it's more accessible for women to be able to go deeper in fitness. It is fairly new, so it's normal to be intimidated by it.
Okay.
But I always encourage, I try to empower my students, my clients, to see what they're capable of doing through small steps.
How much they can push forward and what barriers they can break as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, women, they're our sisters, our mothers, our wives. They have a huge place that cannot be filled with anybody, and they're always under pressure, right? There's a lot of missions that they're going through. There's a lot of tasks that they gotta get done. How would you say that mental focus can build their resiliency?
Mental focus through fitness?
Through fitness, yes. I
think fitness allows a person to have more energy for their loved ones and responsibilities they need to fulfill. So being a parent, a sister, a friend, even in the workplace, you owe it to yourself to prepare your body for what it needs to do. You need to re-energize yourself. You need to build your strength. You need to build your endurance. You need to build all of this through fitness. So you have the energy to be with your kids and play with them. You have the energy to show up for your loved ones, for your friends. You have the energy to like, you know, to do the things you want to do. You need to refuel yourself to be able to give. And I think as women, we're givers, and we tend to forget about ourselves, especially when it comes to fitness. And I think it's especially important for women to focus on their fitness.
It is an opportunity to self-love for them.
Exactly. It's a form of self-love that you put yourself as a priority to be able to put others as a priority. So if you don't have the energy to, you know, if you're constantly lethargic and not energized, and you get tired really quickly, it's really hard to spend time with people you love. It's really hard to show up for them. But when you're able to, like, fitness is not just a physical thing, it's also a mental thing. It releases endorphins. It's a stress reliever. It helps you, you know, reset. And so you have more space to be there for others and to do the things you want to do.
Would you say that your training, the exercises and the training routines that you give out to your students, your female students specifically, would you say that's teaching them empowerment?
Most definitely.
Okay.
I think it's empowering. I think the fact that they're taking that time. So there are people who come to me like, oh, I didn't really want to come today, but I forced myself to come. I'm like, okay, well then, first of all, thank you for coming. The fact that you're just here.
You did 50% of the job.
You did more. I would say, like, you committed to this, even if when you didn't feel like it, you came. So that's a huge success right there. So starting your workout with, you know.
Yes, with this mentality that, hey, I forced myself to show up. I'm not sitting at home. Yeah. I'm gonna show up regardless if I feel it or not.
Exactly, giving yourself that the credit of and the encouragement of, like, okay, I showed up here, so I did it because I'm important and I'm worth it. And another thing, through the movement, when someone's you know, someone doesn't have the energy to pick up as much weight as they did before, it's fine. If today, this is where your limit is at, and it's completely fine. Doesn't mean that you're not doing well, or you know, it's showing up for yourself. Like, I remind them that you're showing up for yourself, and I'm reminding them that you're capable and you've come such a long way. And just this little setback doesn't mean anything.
It definitely shows that you're actually believing in this process of self-love. You actually show yourself that you're deserving of love because you're taking care of your health, you're taking care of your body, you're also taking care of your mental health, because as we've spoken about previously, that, you know, martial arts and sports is a great way to improve your mental health.
It is. It's also, like, I would say, a gym for your mind.
Okay.
So we go through life worrying about what we need to do, what we have left to do, and all of these things. So it is also a time for you to practice self-discipline and to be able to remove all the noise and just focus. So it helps gain clarity, basically.
Absolutely. Now we have dug deep into the benefits of kickboxing for women, but we're gonna talk a little bit more about some lifestyle advice from your esteemed individual. However, we're gonna take a small break and then we'll get right into that. Dear viewers, we're gonna go away for a minute and then we'll continue our conversation right after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. We are back once more with Coach Amal Albahar. Hello, Coach.
Hello.
You know, kickboxing, again, it's unusual for women to enroll into. However, there's a lot of women who are interested. They want to enroll into kickboxing. They want to learn it. They want to become better, but they are still hesitant. Do you have any advice for them?
If it's something you're interested in, just go for it. It's more accessible. I think back when I first started, wasn't as accessible. Right now, the positive part of it being a trend is that most gyms have it.
Okay.
So
it's more accessible than before.
It's more accessible than before. You also don't need a gym to learn, but if you're new to it, it's easier to go to a coach and learn. But you can learn from a YouTube video.
Okay.
Although that requires a lot of discipline and commitment from their side, so I'd always suggest going to a class or trying out a class. I think it's not as scary as it looks. I know it seems intimidating when you see people punching on a pad and on the heavy bag and all of that, but actually it's most, I would say 99% of the women that come in and who try kickboxing for the first time, they leave the session feeling energized, because it feels like it's something new, and it really is thrilling to see like how much you can go, because it is very much a full body workout. So you're moving, you're flowing. Once you hit that flow, it becomes it's encouraging. And you're motivated to learn more. You want to throw a better punch. It can be a bit frustrating, but I think it's one of the sports that you can see real-time improvement, like within days, within weeks, especially if you're a beginner. So I would always encourage try out a class.
Okay, it definitely goes back to the point that we've made in previous interviews: motivation. It's the starting spark, so to speak,
Exactly.
that's going to get you going, and then you're going to understand the plan. You're going to set out the plan, and then you're going to know what your goal is, and you're going to follow that goal. Some people might be, regardless, I know you've given a fantastic advice and in a fantastic way of starting. Some might still be a little bit hesitant, and they want to start off gradually at home.
Okay.
What are some of the steps that they should take, in your opinion?
Well, I would say kickboxing, especially if you're a beginner, does actually require
Instructions?
Not only instructions, it's easier to do it with someone who knows kickboxing. However, if someone wants to start at home, there's plenty of information on YouTube. You can just follow a YouTube video, and you just follow the steps, and you can learn the footwork, you can learn the stance, you can learn how to throw a punch. These are things that you can just see and just apply to yourself if you're not able to go to a class or two, or if you feel intimidated to actually try a class. Although there's many classes out there that you can learn from. Kickboxing is not for everybody.
Okay.
It's not. There is some women who just don't enjoy it, and that's fine. But you don't know until you try. And if it's something you're thinking about and you have some interest in, you owe it to yourself to try. So I think if all you have is your space in your living room or your room, put on YouTube, follow any video, just try it out, and then from there you can
gradually move up, and then maybe enroll into a class.
And maybe that will give you the confidence and the encouragement for you to try out a class.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, it definitely gives a clearer vision on how to start and what you could potentially become if you follow through. Martial arts, it definitely teaches a lot of lessons. What are some of the lessons that women in your class have learned from kickboxing that they've implemented in their daily lives?
I can't actually speak on their behalf, but from what I see is they a lot self-discipline, and I meant self-confidence.
Self-confidence, okay.
I've seen many women actually have their self-confidence increase.
Interesting.
through kickboxing.
Okay.
Especially those who come in. So a lot of people, they go in, especially when it's they're new to the gym environment. They go in and they're like this person's better than me, and I don't know much, and I don't want to
Feel embarrassed,
feel
maybe.
embarrassed. But when you go into a gym, everyone's focused on themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking at you. Everyone has their own thing that they're
probably everybody's concerned about the same things that you're concerned about.
Exactly. They probably have the same concerns, or they're focused on how to improve whatever they're doing. So in the beginning, I see that they're timid, and they're self-conscious, and there's a lot of self-doubt, like, oh, I don't, even the language changes, like the language goes from I don't know how to do this, or oh, look what I can do. Like I have so much joy when I walk in and be like, coach, look, I learned how to do this, or look at my kick, I think it's better. And even when I tell them like, oh, your kick got better, and they're like, you can see the light in their eyes and how confident they are and how they carry themselves. It is a transformation.
It is, and definitely changes the tone that they speak to themselves with to a more positive one. Like, I can do it, instead of saying impossible. No, yes. I'm possible.
Exactly.
It's possible for me to do this. Like you said, coach, hey, look, I'm learning something new. I'm able to do this now. I'm able to kick higher, punch stronger. Mm-hmm. It's definitely fascinating, and I'm sure you feel very proud of the work you've done.
I'm very proud of the improvements. My goal as a coach is to empower the person in front of me. If it's only one thing that they can learn from me and take it for the rest of their life, that's my motivation. That's my goal. I'm so incredibly proud of every person who shows up for themselves, and I remind them of that. Sometimes they need a reminder. Sometimes I need to be a bit more of the strict coach of, like, you know what, let go of all these outside thoughts. No, we're going to focus on this, bring them back to the movement, especially when someone's like, I don't know, I can't do this. A lot of that, sometimes I need to be a bit more strict and help them focus. Sometimes I need to be more compassionate, I think, and I'm so proud of every single person that I've coached. Yeah.
Definitely. So come into the gym, come into the class, and leave all the negative thoughts at the doorstep, and just get right into it and learn something new and have fun.
Exactly.
Now, starting something new can be stressful, because you're like, oh, where do I start from? Now, what message you want to give to the women who will be watching this in regards to starting something new in their life?
Have clarity.
Okay.
I think clarity helps decrease the overwhelm that comes with starting something new. When you want to start something new and you seek out information, it's just you don't know what path to take. Again, we are lucky to live in the age of information, so there's a lot of information out there. However, if you're not clear about what you want, it's really hard to pursue it, because by the time you want to take that next step, you're too overwhelmed of, like, no, this is right, this is wrong, this is right. Me as a coach, I can sometimes have to remind myself about that as well. So clarity is the first thing. Second is have like an expert in the field, or someone that you can talk to or see, or YouTube video or whatever, and then from there you'll be able to figure out your next steps.
Okay. And definitely eventually get to your goals that you've set for yourself, and get to satisfying results that'll keep you moving on to next and future projects. It's been very eye-opening talking to you about empowering women and giving them guidelines for self-love. Unfortunately, our time has come to an end. I want to personally thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
And there you have it, dear viewers. Coach Amal Albahar talking about empowering women, building their confidence, and becoming kickboxers in the future, or even starting something new on their own that fulfills their passionate side. This has been Daily Reset. Take a breath and reset.